The first thing that we know about the successor of the Nintendo Switch is that it'll be announced by the end of the fiscal year, which means sometime before March of 2025. This is part of the official tweet/X post from Nintendo President Furukawa. Considering that the post was from May 6th of this year, that's a pretty big time frame that we're left with. We do know from that same posting that the June Direct that was confirmed, will not feature the Switch successor whatsoever. Instead, it's going to focus on the latter half of 2024 as far as Nintendo Switch software. And with that, I like to cast my prediction. As the contributor of posting hardware and accessories over here on the Tanuki channel, Justin, nice to meet you. I predict that we will either get a Nintendo Direct in September talking about the console, or we will get a Twitter/X post beyond the month of September announcing a trailer on YouTube that will then drop a couple hours after the post. Yeah, I'm pretty much going off of like what the Switch did before, so that's kind of what I got. Back to more concrete info. The rest of the information actually came from a Q&A with the investors. It was confirmed that Nintendo's account system will be supported with the successor. So that means that the account that you will or have already created for your Nintendo Switch will carry over to the new console. And that probably also includes Nintendo Switch Online. All this has been kind of an effort to maintain relationships with the folks who have already been like subscribed into this ecosystem of Nintendo Switch. And that's good, because we have digital games. We have the NSO subscription, most of us anyway. If they really just threw away with all that with the release of a new console, they're pretty much alienating every single Switch owner that they have worked so hard to gain. That is to say, they've actually done that before with the Virtual Console, which was left behind in the Wii U and 3DS era. Considering the current landscape for console gaming in which the account systems have been adopted, and the fact that PlayStation and Xbox both support like game libraries from prior generations, I think it's actually a good thing that Nintendo follows up on this trend. Additionally, in the Q&A, it was confirmed that Nintendo is looking towards maximizing like all software sales, and that also includes physical, which means physical media is supported as well. This is nothing but good, because remember, digital games are just copies that you don't own. In fact, a game that you bought digitally can actually be revoked from your account. So you can't even play it even if you bought it. Not to mention all online stores, like from every gaming platform we know of, eventually shuts down as there's a focus towards the newer one. But if you have the physical, none of it really matters. You can play it right there. I guess there would be an exception for like online only games. You know, you need a server for that that's working. So if they shut that down, then you're out of luck. What I'm trying to say is that digital is fast and convenient, but physical media is always a good option. That should be everything that we know officially about this new console, you know, until further notice. Everything that we picked up else online are leaks from various sources that we can't 100% confirm. I say that. However, there are some reports that may appear a little bit more accurate than others, and that's because those leaks are being reported based on shipping info with suppliers and Nintendo, potentially revealing the specs of the new console. Gentle reminder, you know, take all this with a grain of salt, but the first thing that we have is that we have 12 gigabytes of RAM. Now, I think that the Switch really needs RAM. You know, the load times in games and assets would just be significantly cut down. Performance would improve in both resolution and the frame rate. Games can look both artistically like pleasing and texture rich. And of course, it can help with the speeds when browsing the eShop. Please have an improvement on RAM. In addition to that, we have listed here UFS 3.1, 256 gigabytes. As I understand it, UFS 3.1 is for 5G devices. Just helps with higher transfer speeds. And the 256 gigabytes of storage is kind of the compelling thing here, because that's a significant upgrade to the OG Nintendo Switch, actually all models, and their 32 gigabyte internal storage. Listen, the demand for additional storage pretty much goes in the same direction as the development of these games. Bigger games require more data. Take for example Doom Eternal and its entire DLC altogether, and you'll be shocked about like how much it demands versus like what you actually have in internal storage. Of course, buying additional storage is the normal solution to this, but that does cost money ultimately. So having a lot of storage just from the get-go is a good move going forward. That is if it's true. There seemingly is another report too about the Switch having built-in microphones, both on the console and maybe on the controllers. That one is interesting. I'm not entirely sure what Nintendo would actually have in mind for that. I mean, if they're planning to just revamp the whole communications with other players and friends online, then I'm all for it. But an argument I could actually see when incorporating like microphones would be like additional cost to the entire unit. I mean, if the Nintendo does go forward with built-in mics, then I would only hope that the games that are being developed for the Switch do incorporate mics in creative and fun ways. And that's not even talking about like the issues and concerns about like privacy and whatnot. There are other leaks out there, of course, but until we can get an official word from a representative of Nintendo, we can never be too certain about that. I think what we do know, I think the console will end up being really good. We just gotta let Nintendo do their thing, and when it is time to start talking about things, we'll be there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this one, and if you would, please subscribe to the Tanuki channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.